Hello everyone. Greetings in the world where you are. Welcome to STEMGO, saving time, energy, and money in your business. This show is about being productive. It's about being efficient and effective so that you get more done. That's what productivity is, getting more done in less time with less effort and with more ease. Now, I want to introduce my guest. Come on in, Gabriella Salmon. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm very good. Tell people where you are today.
I'm in Melbourne, inner city Melbourne. It's a bit chilly still for a spring day. So
Yes.
that's where I am.
Stunning. And that's your home place, your home place where you live, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, that's where I live, and I work out of my home office. And
Yeah.
then I also have offices around the Docklands. But primarily when my clients need me to do work, I'm at the client side.
Sure. Awesome. Great stuff. Now we have got a little bit of a delay today, ladies and gents. Bit of a internet issue. So if we do have to refresh our browsers to come back in, we will need to do that. But we're okay at the moment. Fingers crossed. Now, what we want to talk about today, Gabriella, is this idea that there's two things, isn't there? We're going to be, if we're happy and we're positive, and if we're competent and we're confident, we're going to actually be more productive in what we do, aren't we, in our workload, right? And what you do as a career and health and wellness coach is you help organizations to understand their staff better, to be able to basically put the staff in the right places so that they are happy and positive and productive in the work that they're producing, right?
Absolutely, Karen. That's right.
So tell us a little bit more about that, about how you, what you do, how you do that, and how you got into it.
Okay, sure. Look, basically, I use an assessment platform called Business DNA, and it assesses the talents people are born with and cemented in at a very early age. So it's a strength finder, helps you identify your own talent. So I use this in my business as well. So it ensures that I'm productive as well. Because,
Awesome.
yeah, because with every strength that we have, there's also a struggle. Okay. So with the organisations I work for, I take them through the assessment, which is conducted online. And equally, I do this for anyone that wants career advice and guidance.
Sure.
So the assessment only takes between 10 to 20 minutes at most. It's done online. I send the person the link, and then reports are generated from this. Then I analyse the information and I conduct a one-to-one, 1 hour debrief with the individual. So that enables the person to understand, are they utilising their strength? Because when you utilise your innate strength, work is easier. It's less stressful for you because that's your natural go-to, if you like, under pressure. And that's what you lean towards the most. So with organisations, I make sure the individual's aligned to the job role. That's really critical. Because,
Absolutely,
yeah, because if they're not going to be as effective or productive or engaged at work.
Yeah.
So from there, I conduct some workshops for organisations, showing them how to unlock those talents of the individuals and demonstrate what are those individual engagement and or motivation keys for that individual. Okay, so that engagement then becomes one-to-one on that individual. We can't use blanket or vanilla engagement solutions anymore. People need to be engaged more from the heart. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's understanding how to unlock those individuals, and the reports actually give guidance to the managers and colleagues in bullet point form. What are those I need to communicate? How does this person make decisions? Is this person aligned to be in a leadership role? If not, and if that person has a desire, then what are those performance gaps? So then training becomes very specific to that individual, because quite often what we've seen in organisations over the decades is that we put people through but that's not necessarily going to give the organisation a great return on their time or investment, because that person's talent is not aligned first and foremost to being a leader. And if they don't have a passion, then you're wasting your time and energy. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so the business DNA allows to identify those gaps and provide a solution for that individual.
That sounds good. That sounds awesome. Is this done, Gabriella, is this done prior to people and being even given the job, or is this something that you do when people are in the roles? And at what point do you decide, or do companies come to you and say, look, we need some help with our staff engagement because this is not working? Like, how does that happen?
So there's multiple ways that it happens. So sometimes organisations, once they've sampled the DNA and they see the power of it, they then return to me and ask me to assess candidates before they actually hire them. So that way they understand what they're actually buying, because it's so easy for people in interviews to base those responses in an interview scenario around what they've learned, which is also relevant. But what we're finding really powerful, it's the strength, so it's the innate talent coupled with the competency. In other words, what have they learned? So an organisation would engage me to conduct candidate assessments, but equally they also utilise me to assess their teams once they're already established on board, because sometimes they say, the CEO or business owner or manager might say, look, there are some people in my team that I don't think know and why. Okay. Or I now am ready to create staff engagement in my business because it's not at an all-time high. So then we use the business DNA as a starting point, because it starts to create a common language. It starts to ensure that people are in fact actually aligned to the right job, because that's the beginning of this interview. So from there, we end up either assessing the leadership team, getting them on board first, and then we run through the rest of the employees in the business.
Sure, that sounds good. That sounds good because it's flexible. It means that people can be assessed even before they have the job, because it's very, very costly, isn't it, for businesses, especially very small businesses, to take people on only to find out that they're not the right person, because anyone can say anything in an interview. Anyone can really talk the talk. And they can get great references from people, and you think, they are stunning. They've got to have this person in my organisation. They've got everything. And then things turn a bit sour, and it turns a bit disappointing for productivity, because the people aren't really in the right role. They're not really where they're saying they should be,
Absolutely. And what it does, so what this DNA actually does is it churns out behavioural descriptive insights aligned to the person's talent. So once the individuals sat this DNA, there's a whole bunch of reports you can access, and one of them is called a hiring report. Okay. So it picks out the top 2 talents, and then it devises all these questions to ask that candidate, and those questions are so unexpected by the candidate. So you can really, really assess what this person is saying in terms of, do they have intelligence around their talents? And if so, how they manage themselves in group situations. So for example, someone's high on innovation, but the rest of the team isn't. What have they done? Have they got frustrated? Have they put team members offside? Or did they actually learn something from it? Because it's important to get the right team dynamic. So if you're bringing in new people into a particular DNA, because what you can do is you can assess the group or the team DNA, And then when you're assessing the candidate, you can I can highlight to my client to say, look, if you bring this person in, these are the performance expectations. This is what you're going to see. This is how these themselves. Is this what you want to bring into this group?
Sure. Yeah, stunning. And that makes sense because, I've been in interviews in the past where I've worked for people and they've asked some random questions and it stops you in your tracks. And I guess it's like you're saying, it's to see how taking them off piste. Because we all, when we go in for interviews, don't we? We rehearse. It's like an exam. And we kind of try and anticipate what they're going to ask us based on the prior experience. But then they shoot you kind of these really random questions and it really does make you think. And I guess it's those questions really which help to analyse how well people are able to think quickly and, you know, on the spot and under pressure about things which are completely not what you would expect. Is that right?
Absolutely. That's spot on, Karen. That's exactly right. Because what we want to understand is how well does this person know themselves on a deep level? Because and how do they impact not only the people in a professional setting they have to deal with and in the personal setting, because part of productivity and engagement needs to also look at how well are you feeling, well, how good do you feel about your personal relationships, your one-to-one relationships? If you don't have a happy life at home, well, that inevitably is going to impact your performance.
Yes, of course.
Work. So it's looking at the individual holistically, and if they have a set of behaviours that they're aware of, then what have they done to modify? Because we have to learn to modify in particular relationships. You know, whether it's clients. So if we're a bit high on the communication, you know, are we overwhelming our client? Are we not listening as well? Are we not being as reflective as we could be?
Sure.
So then we leave ourselves open for misinterpreting the questions that the clients are asking us.
Yes. And staff dynamics is so important in productivity in a company, isn't it? Because if the team don't get on, if they don't gel well, they're not reflective of other people's needs and empathic about, you know, how people are feeling about certain things, and the communication isn't there. Gosh,
absolutely. Chaos. Absolutely. So we have a look at, okay, what are the supportive behaviours that create great staff engagement? So my methods are about co-creating staff engagement with the actual team. So rather than imposing engagement methods, I'm able, as people have sat the DNA and say, okay, now that you've understood what supportive behaviours look like and what team engagement could look like from your DNA and utilising those talents, what do you think we need to create in the business? So it's then reducing the resistance with the solution.
Yeah, that makes real sense. Well, that's awesome. That is just kind of what we need for this show. We need some great tools, tips, advice, technology, and techniques to enable business owners to do a great job in their business and to be productive and to have the people working for them productive too. And of course, costing them time, energy, and money in their business. So thanks today for joining us, Gabriella. I really appreciate that. How can people get hold of you? What's the best way to contact you to find out more?
Sure. Phone number is 043 00 376 70. I'm happy to take any calls and give a free consult to anyone that's interested. And likewise for the career advice, that's also showing people, you know, the types of culture that they'll prosper in and the types of roles they'll do really well in.
Stunning. And you have a website as well, right?
Yes, it's www, of course, freetoachieve.com.au, and Free to Achieve is FREETOACHIEVE.
Stunning. Yes. Awesome. Well, I know there was a bit of sound quality problem on the show today, but I think hopefully we got the message across. And if not, you can always contact Gabriella for more information. So thanks, Gabriella. I hope you have a wonderfully productive day in your business today. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so
Talk
much.
Again soon. You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
Well, thank you to Gabriella for joining us today. It was awesome because this is what businesses need. They need tools, they need things to be able to assess, well, whether it's assessing themselves. And like Gabriella says, you can use this on yourself to assess, you know, what you need to do and what you need to outsource and what you need to get staff in to do and things like that. And also you can use it if you're thinking of employing staff. It can be a very costly business if you get the wrong people working for you. I know I've done it time and time again, and I'm learning lots by my mistakes. So I hope that you learned something a lot from this this show today. If you want more information, all these videos that I do, all these interviews will be going on a YouTube channel, which you can look at, and I'll put that in the show notes afterwards. You can also come to STEM, Go Saving Time, Energy and Money Facebook page, which has got lots of more interviews, content for you to, you know, understand what productivity is if you're not sure about it, or in fact, learn to be more productive, efficient and effective in your business. So that's me, Karen Barkle. That's my show today. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.